No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Ow. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Hey, what's going on, Boise State fans? Welcome on in. ExtraMile Arena. The gates are open. The crowd filing in. We got basketball tonight in Boise as the UNLV Running Rebels, 3-0, tied for first place in the Mountain West in the last column, arrive in Boise to take on a Boise State team looking to get back on track after that tough loss to UNLV or to San Diego State. On Saturday, we bring you here courtside. Abe Jackson and BJ Rains with you. You'll be hearing Abe coming up in about 22 minutes over on 670 KBOI. And Abe, I know nothing's really a must-win game in January, but certainly after you already dropped the one home game against San Diego State, you feel like they need to play well and get this one tonight.
Yeah, after any type of loss, you want to put together a solid game, especially a loss at home. I mean, Boise State is 2-0 on the road in the Mountain West right now, but home games are really where you need to get a bunch of your wins, because it just gets harder on the road every single game at Utah State this weekend, and then heading off next week to New Mexico, two of the tougher places to play. So bouncing back and getting a win here will be good. But here's the thing about basketball as well, is that no one's going undefeated in the conference. There's always going to be losses, but who can really just limit it to one loss and then get a good game and not have those losses stack up on top of each other? Because with the Mountain West this year, other than other years, there was a team, one or two, that would kind of set themselves apart toward the middle of the conference season. We're not to the middle yet, but I don't see a team that's really going to do that. I think there's a handful of teams, 5 or maybe even 6 teams, that all could really beat each other, and the winner this year could have 4 or 5 losses, I think.
Yeah, you hate giving up the home games.
Oh, no, the home, it's tough. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you want to try and get your multiple. If you're going to get a bunch of wins, they got to come at home because the road is so tough. But you got 2 whole home games here in a row, so got to get one against UNLV.
The big story in the San Diego State game the other night was rebounding. Boise State got out-rebounded by 10, 15 offensive rebounds for San Diego State, and they lost 21-9 on the second chance points. You would automatically just assume Boise State will be better on the glass when you just 2 days of practice to hammer it.
Yeah.
But also, UNLV is not good on the glass. This is an opportunity tonight. They're one of the worst rebounding teams in America, to be honest. This is an opportunity tonight for Boise State to dominate on the glass. And I know it sounds simple, Abe, but they're 11-0 when they win the rebounding battle and 0-4 when they don't.
Yeah, when you get to this point in the season, you can start looking at the stats and really say, okay, what do we do that makes us win games? And, of course, you can look at shooting percentages. When you outshoot your opponent, you're going to win most of your games. Or you can take a look at free throws when you get to the line more. But rebounding, like you said, it's where the Broncos really make their hay. 11-0 when they out-rebound an opponent. All 4 of their losses, they have not done well rebounding. But what kind of concerns me about the San Diego State game is that there's really a blueprint for the rest of the league on what to do to Tyson. I mean, it's not like he had a bad shooting night. He just had a non-shooting night. He shot 2 2s and 5 3s, and that's all. So, I think the Broncos are going to have to adjust and find different ways to get him the ball because, every other team in the league watched that film and said, once they saw Tyson's line in the game, like, what the heck did they do to him? Then they're going to see all the double teams. They're going to see leaving him some space out on the three-point line so he can't get into your body. So, I think the Broncos will have to adjust.
And at times he has struggled against the longer, more athletic bigs. We've seen that in the tournament at times. Like, even when he got the ball and they didn't double him, he's got, guys with really long arms, and he couldn't really finish over him. Like, how do, you say they got to find other ways to get him the ball. Like, it's easier said than done. But, I mean, Tyson Degenhart can't be taking 6 shots a game. How do they get him more involved early, especially early tonight?
Sure. First, it comes down to film study, and like the coaches watch film just all the time on the teams that they're going to play. And so you look at how they defend certain things. How do they defend the on-ball screen? How do they defend cross screens? How do they defend down screens or flares out to the three-point line? You see how a team defends that. And so if you want to get a mismatch, say if there is a 6'9", 6'10", really athletic guy on Tyson, how do you run him off screens or have him be the screener to get a switch and then get him the ball against somebody that he can be a little more successful against?
Well, again, rebounding, I think, is an area Boise State should be able to take advantage of. There is going to be a change to the starting lineup tonight, partially due to injury, partially due to production probably as well. But R.J. Keene out tonight with the broken nose. Chris Lockett Jr., who's continued to impress, going to get his, I believe, first career start.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I love seeing what Chris Lockett's done. He gives the Broncos another slasher driver to the hoop. Right now, really the only one that they have is Andrew Meadow. Cardenas can do it, but he doesn't quite have the lift that, say, like a Marcus
Shaver.
I was thinking Frazier. Marcus Shaver, he had the ability to get in there, but he had such a big vertical, he could finish at the hoop. Cardenas doesn't quite have that. So where are you going to get your penetrating guys who can finish at the hoop? Chris Lockett can be one of those guys.
And whether it's Lockett and Bowie, we talked about this on the postgame show, but, there was times where Cardenas was in foul trouble, and it was the 2 freshman guards out there. I mean, I know fans don't want to hear it in terms of future years, but, I mean, there's been times where you were afraid to go to the bench in terms of the backup point guard spot. Right now, at least, Bowie or Lockett, when they go to the bench and bring in some of these younger guards, you feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, and you look at the percentages, too. Bowie and Lockett are some of your top 3-point shooters percentage-wise, along with Andrew Meadow. So, you have one of those guys out there, and I like it how they score in different ways, too. They can both shoot the 3. Lockett's more of a get all the way to the hoop type of player, and Bowie's more of the floater game to stop short of the help. So, the future's bright right now at the point guard position, but you also have Cardenas, who I don't think had a great game against San Diego State shooting or some of his turnovers, looking for a bounce-back game here tonight.
Omar Stanley, it's kind of the chicken or the egg, but dealing with some confidence issues, it seems like. He's trying so hard, it seems like, and he's pressing a little bit. He's going to come off the bench again tonight. Dylan Anderson getting the start, but we've been, it's been unfortunately a topic, several times you and I have talked about, but just what is the easiest way? How do you get Omar Stanley going? Because this team cannot, get back to the 4th straight NCAA tournament if they don't get, the first team all-league caliber version of Omar Stanley.
Yeah, and it's really hard for anyone out there listening who's played sports or even played at, rec league at maybe a decent level. The yips are a thing. I mean, it's a thing in golf where you've done something 1,000 times or more in your life, and then all of a sudden you just can't put it together, whatever that may be, a golf swing, a baseball swing, or playing basketball. And I think with Omar Stanley, I would like to see him just make a quick, decisive move. When he gets the ball, I feel like he's doing a lot of little dribbles or he's doing a lot of pivots around. Catch the ball, maybe even face up. You're going to be quicker with your one dribble to the hoop than most of the guys guarding you, and then just take your chances getting up above the rim and trying to finish over somebody. Just a quick, decisive sweep through to one right side or the left side, and then finish.
8:30 game. Students still not in session tonight. I know they were trying to sell some discounted tickets tonight, but we mentioned you can't really give away these home games. Does sound like the music is a little louder than in past games, but how do you try to just, I don't want to say create your own energy. There's going to be a crowd here, but no students again. It just makes it a little tough.
Yeah, and a lot of that just comes down to the coaching and how you prepare. And this team, I don't think, has had any trouble of doing that. You play in some environments on the road here in the Mountain West where you do have to create your own energy. They got to win at San Jose State and at Wyoming. Air Force is going to be a little one of those type of places. So I don't have any concern about the energy from the Broncos. Now, will that turn into a good shooting night or a good rebounding night? We'll have to see.
Rob Whaley out tonight, dealing with a back injury. I know he was the main catalyst when they came in here and won this game last year. Jace Whiting, unfortunately, is out as well. But I know there weren't a lot of guys on that team last year, but Tyson certainly was one of them. Is that at all brought up? Like, hey, they came into our building and beat us here last year?
For sure, and it's brought up to the guys who weren't even on the team last year. I mean, when you're part of this program, you're part of the wins and losses that have happened a couple years before, and you're probably part of the wins that'll happen next year, even if you're gone. So I guarantee you it was brought up. The film was probably watched from last year with some of the guys, especially Didon Thomas, who was the freshman of the year in the Mountain West. He's a point guard who can really score. He could give you 25 some nights. So the Broncos this year, what I will say, they've given up some big-time individual scoring efforts. They gave up a career high to a San Diego State, Miles Byrd, last game. They gave up 30 to the player from Clemson. They gave up 35, I think, to the player from Corbin.
Junior Spivey? Spivey Word. Yeah.
So they've given up some pretty big individual games this year, and they've all been on this court. And Didon Thomas is someone to keep your eye on for UNLV who could go off for 25 or 30.
What do we know about UNLV? They're a very interesting team. You look at their, KenPom page. They have no bad losses, but they also don't have any good wins. They've beaten a lot of bad teams, and they've lost to the good teams. Yeah. They've won 4 in a row. They're 3-0 in Mountain West play, but they've beaten arguably the three worst teams. Yeah. Those are their only wins, Fresno, Air Force, San Jose. But you're going to get some athletic guys. You mentioned Didon Thomas, one of the best point guards in the league.
Yeah, he is one of the best point guards in the league. But this will be interesting for UNLV as well. And I'm sure the coaches know it. I mean, you know what the teams are like that you play. That Air Force, Fresno, and San Jose are probably going to be maybe the bottom 3 teams in the league this year. And those are the 3 teams that UNLV has beat. So, their coaching staff and the Broncos coaching staff and players are probably looking at it like, okay, where really are they? Are they really a 3-0 team in league, which their stats say? Or are they 3-0, but it's been to the worst 3 teams in the league?
Well, we mentioned rebounding. What else are your keys to a Boise State win tonight?
You got to get Tyson going. I mean, he's a guy averaging 17.5 points, and really it's hard to survive a game in league where Tyson doesn't get his average or close to his average. Now, he's averaging 17.5. Can they win if he gets 12 or 14? Yes. Can they win if he gets 5 or 7? That'll be a tough go.
We'll be 13 minutes here in you and Bob Beeler, 670. I think it's only on the AM side tonight. 670 KBOI. You and Bob with the pregame coming up top of the hour, and then you'll have the game broadcast. I believe looks like it's about a 8:40 tip-off. Yep. So hopefully you got a little bit extra filler. A little easier when you have someone to fill with you, though.
Oh man, it came and I had to fill for an extra 30. I had an hour pregame show solo. I don't even want to listen to that. I was just rambling on about who knows what.
Abe, always appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Abe Jackson, best in the business. Appreciate him. For jumping on again, go listen to him. He's with the Bronco Radio Network in Learfield. Abe Jackson, part of the Bronco Radio Network. You can hear him coming up top of the hour. John Mallory is going to join us as well. Get your score predictions in. Get your thoughts. Where are you watching from? We'll give you a shout out. All that good stuff. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll give you a shout out. Give us your score predictions. Give us all that good stuff. We would love to shout out some fans here. And we got to have our Bouscher Real Estate Player of the Game coming up post-game, so let us know who you got, and we'll get to that. Johnny Ballgame going to join us momentarily. They just keep turning this music louder and louder. It is there's certainly – they were listening to somebody on social media, I can tell you that. Western Collective, the Horseshoe Golden Ale. If you're coming to the game tonight, get a Horseshoe Golden Ale and Orange Chaos Seltzer. Support the Horseshoe Collective in the process. Western Collective, visit their brewery in Garden City as well. They're our studio sponsor here at Bronco Nation News. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. Again, John Mallory going to join us shortly here. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. All your painting needs, make sure you hit up rowpaint.com. Concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, they got you covered. at rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, there's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking. Check them out online, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Bousher Real Estate, Matt Bousher again. We're going to pick a Bousher Real Estate player of the game coming up post-game. Give us your predictions now. Who's going to bounce back and have a game? Give us a score prediction, all that good stuff. Matt Bousher, Bousher Real Estate. Number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bousher and Bousher Real Estate. Check them out online at BousherRealEstate.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopRidleys.com, 13 locations. Love that Kuna location. They got some in the Magic Valley, Treasure Valley, McCall, the surrounding states. Check them out, shopRidleys.com, and download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. We bring in the man, John Mallory, Johnny Ball Game. Johnny, before we go any further, man, congratulations, the 2024 Idaho Sportscaster of the Year. I know you're going to downplay it, man, but that's a really cool honor, and I'm really happy for you, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, man. Well, you won it on the writing side, so the print side, whatever,
I got a couple of them, though, man. You deserve it, man. I'm glad you finally got one.
Yeah, feel really good. That's kind of the main award, right, to win in broadcasting?
It is.
I mean, it's what Paul J. Schneider. I don't know how many that dude won. I'm looking at him right there.
You got 5 more to catch Bob Beeler. He's got 6.
Yeah.
But you did tie Jay Tuss. You both have 1 now.
That's huge. Who's going to get 2 quicker, Tusty or Ball Game? That's a good question. That's a good poll there. All kidding aside, thanks, man. Thanks to everybody who enjoys my content. Appreciate it.
The cool thing that I always think is cool is it's voted on by your peers. So other media members in Idaho voted you, and that it's a pretty cool deal, man. So congratulations, and happy for you, man. All the comments are rolling in on the chat here. Big game tonight, man. What's your take? ExtraMile Arena, crowd filing in. After that tough home loss with San Diego State, you really cannot afford another home loss back-to-back like this, especially with what's looming on the schedule here.
Did anybody have San Diego State winning that game?
No.
Nobody picked it?
I don't remember.
On the pregame show or anything?
You did.
I did.
That's right, you did.
I did.
And I was kind of there with you in terms of thinking it was at least going to be close.
I have that one. I'm going to get this one, too, and I have Boise State big. I have Boise State by 20. I know they're favored by 8.5. It's not even going to be that close. For whatever reason, look, the ball's going to go in the hole tonight. I just see it. And I'll be honest, guys, Tyson Dagenhart is on fire in warm-ups. He's got a different look. The way he's clapping, encouraging, just being Team Tyson. I think Tyson's going to have a big night tonight. I think Boise State rolls. Chris Lockett, as you reported, in the starting lineup. I cannot wait to see him. He's my new favorite player on this team. This team lacks athleticism. He provides it. This team, in my opinion, lacks perimeter defense. For me, his athleticism will allow him to be an elite-level defender in this conference, and he is not afraid to take and make. Chris Lockett's a gunslinger, man. He gets the ball, and he is ready to shoot. That's what I want, the Max Rice that this team doesn't have. Give me the ball. Don't worry about it. I will handle this game. And I don't know if he's that type of player yet, BJ, but I'm excited for his opportunity in the starting lineup. I got Boise State running away with this thing. I think the mustard is going to be on the hot dog. I have a question for you, though.
Yeah, I had something on Lockett first, but go ahead.
When was the last time UNLV played in the NCAA tournament? Last time the Rebels went dancing.
I should know this because I did it for Lindy's. It was early 2000s, right? Was it 01, 02, 03?
Has not been that long.
Okay.
2013.
All right.
With Dave Rice. We were in town then.
Their last win was further back.
Oh, gotcha.
All right.
They have not made the tournament. UNLV in 11 years? The hell is this? Kevin Kruger, for me, he's in his 4th year already. This is going quick. I don't think they're going to have it tonight. I got Boise State big.
I like Boise State big, too. For me, it's the rebounding. Boise State got crushed on the glass against San Diego State. You know David Moats isn't letting that happen again. And UNLV is not very good. They're minus rebounding on the season. UNLV is not a good rebounding team. Boise State, I think, is going to dominate the glass. A lot of putbacks, a lot of second chance points. They're not going to give up second chance opportunities to UNLV. I like Boise State too, but because of the rebounding. How confident is Chris Lockett, though, man? He was telling us yesterday his goal is to be not just make the NBA. He wants to be an NBA Hall of Famer. And he's talking about just what he brings to this table and what he brings to this team. And now you throw him into the starting lineup and let him play 25, 30 minutes. Like, I think, man, like, they really like Chris Lockett, and I think he's he provides, as you said, a different little element to this offense. I like what Bowie can do, but they need Cardenas to stay on the court and play better than he did the other day.
I want Cardenas to play like John Stockton, right? Safe, sound fundamentally, don't miss an open shot, and get the right players the ball at the right spot, right time. Set this thing up. Be more of a point guard, and I think sometimes he's trying to be too friendly with the ball. And hey, your fourth year playing at a new school, new players. It does take some time, I believe, to feel things out more so for a point guard than any other position. I mean, think about this. I mean, Cardenas shows up. Okay, it's your team. Here's the ball. Go run this thing. They went to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, but no. Now you're running it. And sometimes I think that can be hard. I think Cardenas will be fine. I'm not worried about him yet. There are other players on this team I'm worried about. Lockett, I'm excited about to see him tonight, BJ. Heck yeah.
One of those guys we're a little worried about is Omar Stanley. How do we get Omar Stanley going again? And it's kind of the chicken or the egg, but he needs to get his confidence back. How do they do that?
I don't know what's going on with Omar Stanley. He's an all-league player. He's not playing like an all-league player. Leon Rice was very vague with that, or maybe not, right? With what he said yesterday in regards to Omar's situation. Like, there's a lot.
He said it's personal.
Yeah, there's a lot people don't know that's going on, and it's personal. So whatever is personal has affected him on the floor. Is he starting tonight, Omar?
No.
Okay, yeah, he's just not even a starter anymore. Like, you said that nonchalantly, like, no. He's just not a starter on this team. He's an all-league player, and for whatever reason, something's getting in the way. I hope it turns around for him because he's one of my favorite dudes on the team. But for the team, BJ, this team is not going, in my opinion, to the dance if they're getting this version of Omar Stanley. I just don't see how they can figure it out unless they have 3 wonderful days in Vegas in mid-March where you and I will be.
Yeah, I totally agree. What do you make this big picture, man? The importance of this game, kind of where we started this. Obviously, don't want to lose another home game. And UNLV, I know they're undefeated in the league, but they've played the 3 worst teams in the league. Obviously, a game they need to have tonight. And when you look at what's ahead, like I said, going to Logan on Saturday, going to New Mexico next Friday. I mean, this is I hate to say must win in January, but if you want to do what you want to do, you really need to have this one, or you're going to put yourself in a position where you got to make up some big road wins coming up.
Well, let's ask the viewers. Let's ask you guys. Like, if this isn't a must win, well, fill in the blank over the must. If it isn't a must win, is it a gotta win? A really, really, really need a win? Like, how would you describe it if it's not a must win? 3 out of your next 4 are on the road in this league. I don't care if you're going to San Jose. That's tough for its own reasons. Not easy to play on the road in this thing. BJ, if they lose this one, I cannot wait for the BNN post-game show because
will you stick around for that?
Fans, no, I'll watch. I'm up late as it is, man. But BJ, the natives are going to be restless on you tonight. It's like, I love it. You guys like attack BJ when this basketball team doesn't perform, and it's beautiful television.
It's my fault. Yeah,
you do. You guys come on, BJ.
There's not going to be much sugarcoat
I love
in this
it.
one. If they lose tonight, it's going to be a bad loss.
If they lose tonight, it's going to be okay. Let's be real about this team. Is this in March? Does March consist of Tyson Degenhart chasing this record in NIT games? Is that where this program is going to be in March, right? Are they going to be the 3rd, 4th, 5th Mountain West team, which will bet you in the NIT or whatever that's going to look like, whatever postseason tournament? Does the NIT even exist postseason anymore?
Yes,
but yeah, and that's what the season is going to be. Certainly, that's not what anybody wants. They want Tyson's season to end in an NCAA tournament game, BJ.
Well, we appreciate it, man. We're going to bring on your man, Steve Coffield from Las Vegas.
He's cool, man.
They have a sideline reporter for basketball, and he's their sideline reporter.
Haven't been to a tournament game since 2013.
I'm going to bring it up
and they
with
still have a sideline
Yes.
reporter
I'll
for
bring it
hoops.
up.
And by the way, Steve Coffield,
Him and Jay Tuss are best buds.
no, they're not. But Steve Coffield, he is the Mike Prater
Yes.
of Vegas.
All right.
Kind of controversial, says whatever the hell he wants, pisses people off.
Yeah.
He's cool, man.
Let's bring on Steve Coffield, man. Appreciate
Love
you.
ya.
Appreciate you, Johnny. John Mallory, host of Prater in the ball game. Appreciate him for jumping on. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Whether it's a spa, a sauna, pool table, they got you covered. Hey, Johnny, there's your man Dirk Cutter right over there. Dirk Cutter's at the game. Johnny, go talk to Dirk Cutter right there. There he is. Dirk Cutter in the house. TheSpaTeam.com. Check them out, TheSpaTeam.com. Hey, all-wheel drive sale going on at Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. You looking for a new vehicle, they got you covered. Some great deals going right now, and the weather's turning cold, the snow, the ice. You need a vehicle equipped for the conditions, and they got you covered at Lithia Ford of Boise. 6 NIL deals with student athletes at Lithia Ford of Boise, including 4 football players. Return the favor for your next car or truck purchase at Lithia Ford of Boise. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. They are hiring the Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. You can go on into a store. They got the paperwork sitting right there. Free food while you work, half the wages the next day after your shift. Great promotional opportunities. So highly recommend a career at Taco Bell, and the food's pretty darn good as well. SON Management, the Nicolason family, we appreciate them. Check them out. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. And speaking of jobs, transportation compliance service. If you want to get into the trucking industry, they got you covered. TransCompService.com. You can get in the trucking industry, all the DOT overweight, all the permits and things you need. They got you covered there at TransCompService.com. It's a local company helping out folks all over the country. Check them out, TransCompService.com. All right, we bring in our man, Steve Coffield. Everybody loves Steve, including our man, Jay Tuss. There you are. How you doing, Steve? We appreciate you, as always, man, for jumping on. You're the you host. What's the name of your show down in Vegas? Coffield and Company?
Yep.
Afternoon Drive in Las Vegas. And you're all
Las Vegas.
ESPN Las Vegas, Afternoon Drive. You're I always see it Circa, too, so I know you got good taste if you're always hanging out there.
Oh, yeah.
But you're the sideline reporter for UNLV Running Rebels basketball as well. So
Yep. Do basketball and football, and been in the market since '96.
traveling with the team to all these games. What's just the big picture view on UNLV coming into this game for fans watching here in Boise?
Well, I think there's optimism now. You know, they were a little down in the dumps. They played a really tough non-con, and they had a key injury with Jaden Henley, and they just had some bad games. Game at Creighton kind of fell apart. Game against Mississippi State, really good team. That one fell apart. And then close games they couldn't close out. They had a chance against Northwestern. They had a chance at Dayton. Little things, right? Little things. And when you build from the transfer portal, sometimes the cohesion is not there. So end of the game moments, they couldn't get it done. But I think now they're feeling confident. They didn't beat anyone great in conference, but they did what they're supposed to do. And you can see the offense kind of coming together. The design was you got a great point guard in DJ Thomas. Let's try to spread the floor, get some shooters, and they've got some pretty good shooters who are kind of figuring out what their role is.
I was going to say, you look at their, Ken Palm, they got no bad losses, but also no good wins. I mean, they've beaten who they're supposed to beat, and they've lost to the teams that have been better than them.
They just, down the stretch in some of those tight games, they just couldn't make plays.
The Dayton game was a tough one, right?
That was really rough. That was on the road. They had a lead. They got a weird foul call. They also, for some reason, pulled the ball out with like 50 seconds left to drain clock with a really short lead. So they didn't execute. But I think now offensively, they've got a good groove. The biggest thing going in this game, and this is every matchup between these teams, is generally Boise has a great rebounding unit. I think some of the UNLV teams in the past were better rebounding teams than this one.
Yeah.
This team has to work really hard to rebound. They've gotten a little better of late, but they've had some games where they were really trash on the boards, and especially giving up way too many offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they're 321st in the country in offensive rebound percentage. They're 226th in defensive. And Boise State, as you said, just got crushed on the glass, too, against San Diego State. So, they're going to be that's going to be a point of emphasis for them. On paper, you would say, okay, Boise State should dominate the boards, which would maybe mean dominating the game. But if UNLV can see whatever worked against San Diego State, maybe that helps them. Is it more just not having enough size? Is it technique, effort? Like, why are they not good on the boards?
I think it's effort, and it's they have a lot of dudes who are 6'6", 6'7", who are playing on the perimeter. They've also had foul trouble. So Bear Cherry is a good player at 6'10" and 275 pounds, but he's constantly in foul trouble. If he can actually log 22 to 25 minutes, that helps. Pop Enjai is a 7-footer, but he's only 200 pounds. He's getting better and better. And they haven't really had to turn much to Jacob Benarby, who I think can rebound a little bit. Jalen Hill can rebound. Henley's got to rebound. You got to get rebounding from the guards, too.
Yeah, rebounding's a big thing. What else is when they're playing well, what are they doing well?
So biggest thing is, like I said, in terms of sharing the ball and shooting, the X factor on this team in many ways is Jalen Bedford. They brought him in from Oral Roberts. Pretty prolific scorer there, about 14.5 points. Great leaper. He can finish. He can shoot the three. But there are times when he goes into runs where he takes 4 or 5 bad shots in a row. They got to pull him. So if he gets out to a good start, and now he's a 6th man. If he gets out to a good start, that's a big key. And I'll give you the other guy because he's come on late, but he was hurt early, had a foot injury.
Yeah.
Jaden Henley has the pedigree. He's 6'7", 6'8". He weighs about 220 pounds. He's one of those guys who can play inside. He can get downhill. He can shoot the three. Was at Minnesota. Was at DePaul. San Diego State wanted him. Highly touted dude. I think he's finally kind of getting what his role is here. And it doesn't just have to be Deion Thomas being the alpha. Henley can be the alpha and attack, and they're going to be good with that.
I know Jace Whiting's injured, got hurt early in the season. What was the outlook for him? And I saw him here hugging some of his old teammates and stuff. Obviously, they expected him to come in and be kind of a backup guard, and that hasn't worked out.
He just hasn't been healthy. And I'll tell you what, when he did play, he didn't look very good either. He had trouble breaking the press in one of the early games, but I think they're going to count on him over the last, say, 15 games. I know he had the boot off earlier today, at shoot-around yesterday, so they're trying to get him back into shape. Listen, all they need is like 10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, get DJ Thomas a rest, maybe play them together. They just wanted to back up. I will tell you, though, the weird trade here is that Jackie Johnson, who played last year, was a little guy, 5'11", but built like a truck. He just didn't blend in at times. He went to Fordham. He's averaging 18 points a game. So they took Whiting and they got rid of Jackie Johnson.
Wow.
You're like, oh, my God. Even if Jackie Johnson gave him a good game every 3 games, he played. He was durable. Whiting's just got to get on the floor.
Yeah. The other, by the way, it says someone took exception to the extra quiet arena. It's loud as hell in here. They have jacked up the music a little bit. Your man Mark Ziegler must have upset some folks with the volume, man. It is they have jacked it up in here, man. It is much louder than it was last game. Another guy that hasn't been able to stay on the floor is Rob Wiley.
Yeah.
He had a huge game last year in Boise and really propelled them to a victory. What's going on with Rob?
I don't know if he comes back. I don't know if this is cause and effect, whatever. He put on some weight. He trimmed down from like 320 when he came in to like 250. He was a truck last year, and he had a great game here. Well, he hurt his back, and he's had a back injury he's struggling with. He's getting shots every couple of weeks to see if it's going to recover. But while he's doing that, he's also putting on some weight. So now he's back to like 305.
Wow.
Now he may come back and play like 12 games.
What is he, 6'7", 6'8"?
He's 6'4".
And he's 305.
Wow. And yet he probably has like a 40-inch vertical leap.
Yeah.
He's if he wanted to play football, I don't think he could play football, but he'd be that kind of guy, a defensive tackle or defensive end.
Yeah.
They need him for the infusion of energy. But the one positive that's left for him is this JUCO rule change, because he played 2 years of JUCO.
Yeah.
So he could come back, play 12 games, and you're like, well, you're not burning a year.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the extra year. So I hope he does that. But Kruger's been very coy on like, hey, his condition's not improving. If we get him back, we get him back. If not, then we're going to have to redshirt him.
This league, you've seen all these games. I know you're short on time, but what do you make of the league race here? And I know UNLV obviously undefeated in the league, but have played maybe the 3 worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Well, I still think UNLV is kind of in that middle tier, maybe. I mean, despite the 3-0 record, tell me I'm wrong, maybe. But just Utah State, Boise State goes there on Saturday. They've been a surprise to me. San Diego State, New Mexico, Nevada's struggling, Colorado State. Well, where are you in the league right now?
So I picked Boise before the year to win it. I still think they can win it. I actually picked Utah State second. I like that coach. I thought the returners were good. I thought the portal work he did was awesome.
Yeah.
And then clearly San Diego State's a top 4 team. New Mexico's an X factor. I think the Rebels maybe can shock people and get up in that top 4, but I think more likely they're in that 6-7 spot, and maybe they go 11-7.
Okay.
But they could be worse than that. If they get some injuries, they could be a 7-11 team. This thing could come unraveled.
This league's getting what, 2-3 teams this year?
I mean, by the non-con record, they just didn't do that well in the non-con, and right now projections say 2. Maybe someone steals a bid for the 3rd.
Yeah.
It's completely different than a year ago. The 5 and 6 teams are not making it.
Okay, well, we appreciate you as always for jumping on, and looking forward to getting down to Vegas next month for that return trip. Always enjoy coming down there. Appreciate you as always, Steve.
Buzz me. We'll hang at Circa.
Yep, Steve Coffield. You can hear him on ESPN Las Vegas. We appreciate him for jumping on. He'll be on the call tonight for UNLV and Boise State on the UNLV radio side. Steve Coffield, one of the best in the business. The Mike Prater of the media team down there in Las Vegas. Boise State taking the floor, and yes, whoever commented about the crowd and the noise, they have really turned up the volume here pregame. They may even have a new video before the game. We'll see. Maybe they're all going to kind of give me the middle finger, when they do this. I don't know. I don't know what the reason was for the change, but it sounds loud and it sounds better. So we'll see if it continues. I know I caused a lot of stir when I made some of those comments about the crowd. So we'll see what ends up happening. But right now it seems loud, and it seems like it's quite the atmosphere here for tip-off. I think Johnny's going to sit here. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. Get the pleasure of Mike Prater joining us on Press Row tonight. Looking forward to that. We're 24 minutes from tip-off. I appreciate you saying that, Todd. Not everybody at Boise State thought that, unfortunately, so we'll see. But it does sound louder tonight. We'll see if there are any other changes. Nice crowd filing in, but unfortunately, yet again, no students. I see a few students over here, but some adults are in the student section already. I just can't believe they can't find 300 or 400 students that live in the Boise area that still don't want to come to a game over winter break. The fact that it's just winter break just doesn't really sit with me as an excuse why they can't get any students to show up tonight. I mean, we're 23 minutes from tip-off, and I literally count like 20 students in the student section. It is what it is, though. Big one tonight for Boise State. We'll hear from Leon Rice in a minute, but I got a couple sponsors I want to thank here. If you're looking for your Fiesta Bowl gear, they got you covered still. Half off, 50% off your Fiesta Bowl gear at theblueandorangestore.com. Check them out, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. 50% off all your Boise State Fiesta Bowl gear at the Blue and Orange Store. Again, online, theblueandorangestore.com. Or at the Boise Town Square Mall, the second floor next to Pro Image. Check them out. All your Fiesta Bowl gear, all your Ashton Genty gear at the Blue and Orange Store.com. Hey, tonight, if the Broncos score 70 points, you get a hot dog and a soda for $2 at Jackson's on Thursday. We're in January now, so this promo is alive 2 days after the game. So not tomorrow, but Thursday. If the Broncos get 70 points tonight, you get a hot dog and a soda at Jackson's for $2. You also get a banana with that, I believe, as well. So they're hooking you up with my Let's Go rewards. Jackson's, where 25 cents from every hot dog sold goes to support the Horseshoe Collective. We appreciate our sponsor, Jackson's, here at Bronco Nation News. Speaking of food, check out Timberstone Golf Course. PlayTimberstone.com. PlayTimberstone.com. Check them out. Play some golf at Timberstone. They got the simulators and things going in the winter. It's a perfect time for that. Lean Feast. Speaking of food, leanfeastmeridian.com. Perfect time, leanfeastmeridian.com. You can order online anywhere in the Treasure Valley, and they deliver. It's good in your refrigerator for 5 days. It's good in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're eating steak, shrimp, chicken, fish. Highly, highly recommend our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out online, leanfeastmeridian.com. And speakpipe.com/BNN is the website if you want to leave us a voicemail. Leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. And we'll play it on the postgame show. We'll play it on a BNN show coming up. It's brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a repair, a re-roof, an inspection, an estimate, they got you covered. Check them out. MySignatureRoofing.com. A live look here. We are about 20 minutes away from tip-off. Boise State and UNLV. You see the running Rebels taking the floor. Nice crowd filing in. We got some good energy. The music is loud. Todd says Buchanan and Lockett both over 15 points tonight. Chad's got 71-63. And yes, by the way, if you missed us early in the show, R.J. Keene is out tonight with a broken nose. Chris Lockett will make his first career start for the Broncos. Played 26 minutes the other day against San Diego State. Had 15 points. So Chris Lockett now gets a chance to make his first career start tonight. The redshirt freshman, they're really high on him, and we'll see what Chris Lockett can do with this opportunity in the starting lineup tonight. I wasn't going to say that, Logan. I like Jace, nice kid, but at times he did struggle to get the ball across half court when he was playing here at Boise State as well. So disappointing that he's out injured, not going to be able to play tonight. But we appreciate our man for coming on the show. Lithia, Florida, Boise, the pregame show. Lithia, Florida, Boise, pregame show. We appreciate all of you for watching. Oh, we got Kelly Pfeiffer for like the 7th time this year. Amy Bonner as well. We got a female official in the house tonight. Does a lot of Big 12 games. Good officiating crew, it looks like, in the house here tonight for Boise State UNLV. Need to get Cardenas going again. Need to get Omar Stanley going. They got some guys they could really use to get going. You know it's a big game when Kent Riddle comes back-to-back games here. He must be sitting in the seats with a free beer down low, I guess. Kent Riddle in the house. There he is, our man Kent Riddle. What's up, Rid? We'll see that. We'll turn the camera. There's Kent Riddle over here somewhere. Hold on a second. There he is. Oh, he doesn't want to wave. He walked away. All right. Oh, there's Mike Prater. He can't contractually come on the show, so I can't put Mike Prater on. But we appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Thanks for watching. The game's coming up here in about 14 minutes. Tonight's game is CBS Sports Network. Dan Dickow on the call. Dan Dickow, CBS Sports Network tonight. And don't forget, tomorrow at 9 a.m., we got Dirk Cutter. Dirk Cutter, we were copying off of KTIK. He did a great interview with them. So 9 a.m. tomorrow, we got Dirk Cutter coming on Bronco Nation News. Don't miss that tomorrow. Damon's going 80-0. Damon, if that's the score tonight, I'll give you a lifetime subscription to BNN. But appreciate you guys for checking us out. Going to jump off here before the national anthem, but enjoy the game. Boise State UNLV will have a full postgame show, interviews, analysis, all that good stuff coming up on the postgame show. We'll have highlights, interviews, analysis. Abe Jackson will join us. I know it'll be a late night, but stick with us, and we'll have you covered on the postgame show. Oh, Fox Sports 1 tonight. I'm sorry. Tonight is Fox Sports 1, somebody said, so I thought it was CBS Sports Network tonight. It is FS1. FS1 tonight for the game. Fox Sports 1. I apologize. FS1. All right. You can all you're all letting me know. We got it. Fox Sports 1. Apologize for that. But appreciate you guys for checking out the pregame show. Go support the sponsors. Subscribe if you can. And again, we'll have you covered on the postgame show. Join us after the game. And join us at 9 a.m. tomorrow on Bronco Nation News Live. We'll have Dirk Cutter join us live as well. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you on the postgame show. National anthem's coming up. Tip-off coming up. Boise State, as close to a must-win game as they come against UNLV. I think the Broncos are going to dominate the glass, and I like them to dominate the game tonight. We'll talk about it on the post-game show. We'll talk to you later, guys. Enjoy the game.
Bronco Nation News is presented by RowPaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.